morning and welcome to the countdown to the Butterfield Bermuda Championships 2022, which is set to take place in exactly 14 days. We are 14 days away from the first tee off for the 2022 edition of the championships. I'm joined by Javon Roberts. Javon, just 2 weeks away now. We're on that home stretch. It must be exciting times and a bit of NC times at the Port Royal Golf Course for you and the rest of the staff, making sure that everything is ready for when the players arrive there to start to begin preparing to play in 14 days.
Yeah. Good morning, Earl. Yeah, we're 2 weeks out. It's exciting. I was just thinking about it last night. You know, the golf course closes on Sunday, and then it's advance week for us. And advance week is that really busy time in the lead up to get everything ready for the big show starting the following week. Yeah, so we're excited. We're a little nervous, of course, but I know that all the work that we've put in is gonna show, and the golf course is gonna perform, and we're ready to host. Well, we will be ready to host in 2 weeks. We're not ready yet, but we will be ready.
If we had to turn the key tomorrow, we'd be ready. I know you and your team.
We would. The golf course would be ready. We still got some building that needs to get done. So the boys are working hard.
Sure. There's a limited amount of tickets left, isn't it?
Yes. So we've had a good uptick in ticket sales these last couple of weeks. So I would encourage everyone to just go ahead and get those tickets, because we do anticipate that we are going to sell out here in the next week or so. We're expecting people to really start getting on, after the post rugby rush. Once rugby's done, people are going to really start looking for something else to do, and that's going to be us. So, we've had quite a few people buy some tickets here recently over the weekend and during this week. So we're expecting to have a lot of people up here and be sold out.
Sure. And of course, it wouldn't be right. I mean, we still have a few spots available for the walking scorers as well, don't we?
Yeah, we do. So the walking scorers is a very delicate procedure. So we need people who are familiar with the game, who are comfortable with a cell phone, and are able to walk 18 holes. So it's a little bit of a limited field population that we're trying to pull from, but there's a lot of people that golf on the island, and it's a really good way to raise money for a charity of your choice. So you do 3 shifts, and then we will donate $200 to the charity of your choice. So it's a good way to give back to your community while being inside the ropes and watching some of the best golfers in the world up close and personal. It's probably one of the coolest positions that you can have as a golfer and volunteer.
And the uptick to that is also you have the opportunity of having conversations or listening to conversations, of approaching shots. So if you wanted tips on your game, you have the opportunity to walk and score and see what shots they make, what shot selections they make. And you get first-hand tips for 18 holes. Can't beat that.
Can't beat that at all. No, you certainly cannot. You're up close and personal. You're seeing everything that they're seeing. You're hearing the conversations that they're having with the caddies. You're understanding the thought process of why they're going to hit this shot or not take this shot on, and it's definitely something that you can put towards your game when you're in that position next time. So it's exciting.
And who knows, you might be the one giving advice. What does the wind do when it's coming out of this direction and this hill? Because if you're familiar with the golf course, you're going to play it. Somebody's going to ask you. Someone will ask you.
Oh yeah. I get those questions all the time during the warm-ups and range sessions. They know that I'm a member here, so they'll ask, "Hey, what's the wind going to do today? Or what does it do on 16? How do you play 15? What's the wind going to do on 14?" It's interesting to talk golf with these guys, and some of the questions that they ask are like, "Hey, I never even thought of that." So it's cool to see how their brain works, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we got over the first major hurdle, or the second major hurdle, because the first major hurdle was the qualifier for the PGA and the APGA Tour event.
Yes.
The APGA Tour event concluded yesterday. Thursday was a bit of a challenge for some of the golfers. Obviously, a bit of wind, a bit of rain. But yesterday, Bermuda shined right through it. The golf course looked pristine. The players, I would have felt a lot better. And the scores reflected it. A three-way tie at 4 under.
Yeah.
With Willie Mack III actually winning, shooting 4 under on the day to actually claim the title. So talk a little bit about what the golfers experienced and what were some of the things they reflected on in conversations that you would have had with some of them.
Yeah. So Tuesday, Monday we had a practice round for them, and just the weather didn't cooperate very well at all. So some of the guys only got through 9 holes. Some guys were able to get 18 in. It was just whether or not they wanted to get wet, right? So, but everyone enjoyed the golf course. And then Tuesday, it was probably one of the calmest days that we've had all year. It's just flat calm. The water wasn't moving. The trees wasn't moving. Like, it was one of the best conditioned days that we can have. So we put the golf course as tough as we could put it. So everything was back. All the tees were back. We had an interesting tee on number 6. We put it across the street on the ladies' tee on number 3, just to kind of stretch it a little bit and to give these guys a few different looks. I think Joe Hooks on the first day shot 67, 4 under.
4 under
from the from the back tees, without really seeing a golf course. So it just goes to show you how good these players are. And then it shows you how good the PGA Tour players are, because these guys aren't playing at the tour level. Obviously some of them have the talent to do it, sporadically. But to week in, week out to play good golf is separates the really good golfers from the elite, and we'll have a few of those guys coming down this in the next 2 weeks, I hope. But yeah, Wednesday the wind was up a little bit more, so it created a bit more of a challenge. And we saw some of the scores kind of change a little bit. We didn't have as many people on the par. We softened the golf course, the setup for them a little bit, bought some tees up, pushed some tees back. So we just kind of wanted to make them think a little bit and kind of plot their way around the golf course. But really showed his pedigree yesterday, and he was able to come out with the victory. But had my hat off to Joe Hooks. Joe had a rough start, and then he birdied 17. He birdied 16 and then eagled 17, and he didn't know it, but he had a 1-shot lead going into 18, and ended up making bogey to go into a playoff. If he would have made par, he would have won. So it's unfortunate, and I know that stung, but that's golf.
Yeah, and a good experience for the 4 Bermuda players that took part in it. I know each of them would have wanted to do a lot better, but that, as you said, that's golf. But the experience that they've gotten now can only benefit them the next time around.
Absolutely, yeah. Damien, Oliver, Kamiko, and Corey, they played well. And I think Damien was our highest finishing Bermudian, but you have to be proud of Oliver at 14 years old and going out and hanging with these guys and playing well and representing himself well. I think Oliver is going to be a really, really good player in the next few years, and I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm sure that he'll play in the Butterfield Bermuda Championship one year, and I will not be surprised if at some point he makes a cut. I won't be surprised. Yeah.
He's shown that pedigree that we could see when you talk about elite players. He has that pedigree of sorts. He just needs to be as he gets older, you'll see the more consistency at it, and that's where I think he will actually get over, because he has all the tools.
He has all the tools. Once he figures out once his body gets bigger and he gets stronger and he starts to hit it a little further,
Mhm.
he's gonna be he. I was playing golf with him like 2 weeks ago, and I told him, I'm like, you know what, I'm glad that I got the club championship a few times, because once you get going, like no one's gonna beat So I had to give him a little bit of a hard time, just but
Sure,
he's really
sure,
good, and the
sure.
best part about him, he's got uh, a really good brain for golf,
Hmm.
and he holds his composure really well.
Right.
Maybe a page I can take out of his book.
Sure, sure. Um, well, let's talk a little bit about another name that you can give us that would now get people to race to those to the ticket office or even to online to get a ticket. Who
Yeah.
who who can you give me today?
So we are going to have the 2023 Ryder Cup captain Luke Donald, for the European team. Luke is a good friend to Bermuda. He's played here a couple times before. He loves coming back. And I'm really excited that he's going to be joining us again this year. So as any of the European fans, you want to come out and see your European captain, please come out, get your tickets online. ButterfieldBDAChampionship.com. You can buy your tickets right online. We're going all digital this year to make sure that we're trying to do our sustainability part. So go get those tickets. You can see Luke and a bunch of other good players that you'll recognize as well. So yeah, we're going with Luke this week.
Okay, European Ryder Cup captain of
Mhm.
2023. We wish him all the best this time around, and he can take this championship to the Ryder Cup with him.
That would be a good story. Our, our
Anything
marketing.
else we need to cover?
Sorry.
Anything else we need to cover today?
Um. No, I think. Oh, I did leave one in my pocket for you.
Okay.
Um. We'll announce that next week. We'll announce that next week.
You might not be wearing any sand pants, man. It's in
I
your pocket.
I'll make a note. Depends on wearing.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Don't throw anything out of your pockets. All
No,
right.
can't do that. Can't do
All
that.
right. Well, I want to thank you for your time this morning. I will be joining you next week again for another edition of the Butterfield Bermuda Championship, the countdown to that. And we'll be 1 week away when we speak again next week. All right.
Thank you, Earl. Good to see you.
Yes, indeed. Have a good day.
You too.